All investigators conducting educational research that involves human subjects need to be aware of ethical regulations that compel them to behave ethically.
An understanding of human subjects is a prerequisite before implementing experiments that involve people.
In this video, the ethical principles that must be considered when doing research with human subjects will be explored.
A crucial requirement for researchers is to know which research situations involve physical or psychological risks, and when permissions need to be obtained.
Research involving human subjects is used in various fields, including advanced biology, clinical medicine, nursing, psychology, sociology, political science, and anthropology.
But what is understood by the term human subject?
The definition provided by the United States Department of Health and Human Services declares human subject as any living individual, whether professional or student, with whom an investigator is conducting research.
The purpose of this research may be to obtain data, or to generate, use, study, or analyze identifiable private information or biospecimens.
This definition raises a relevant question. When is it appropriate to consider ethical principles in education-related research?
Any study involving human subjects is likely to imply at least minimal inconvenience and risks.
According to the U.S. federal regulations, research involving human subjects needs to follow ethical principles when a systematic investigation including research development, testing, and evaluation designed to develop or contribute to generalizable knowledge is carried out.
There are two concepts in this definition that merit analyzing.
The first concept is a systematic investigation, which describes an organized, planned, and purposeful set of research activities.
In other words, any activity with a research plan and clear objectives about what to investigate and how to analyze data to achieve those objectives is considered a systematic investigation.
The second concept is generalizable knowledge.
This refers to the effect of inferring general knowledge from specific instances or findings in order to contribute to the knowledge of a scientific community.
Investigators conducting a research study with human subjects have an absolute responsibility to ensure that their consent to participate has been given freely and is based on an understanding of the risks and benefits.
In our previous production, Introduction to Ethics in Research, we discussed the evolution of ethical treatment in human research and the situations where regulations are mandatory.
However, what comprises the ethical treatment of human subjects?
As previously mentioned in our first video, the Belmont Report highlights the protection of human subjects and defines 3 pillars of ethics that should be followed in social sciences and educational research.
These pillars are, namely, respect for persons, beneficence, and justice.
Respect for persons is a term incorporating 2 ethical convictions.
First, that individuals should be treated as autonomous agents who are fully capable of making their own decisions.
And secondly, that persons with diminished autonomy are entitled to further protection.
These convictions arise not only because human subjects have rights as citizens, but also because heeding these convictions leads to the treatment of subjects with the utmost respect.
The decisions made by human subjects should always be respected, and when required, the proper authorization by parents or legal guardians should be obtained.
Imagine an educational institution where students of a certain class must undertake specific activities as a result of a research project that their professor conducts.
In this scenario, the students are unduly influenced to participate in research projects.
Making the research activity a condition of taking the class is a violation of the principle of respect, because there is a relationship of power that the teacher has over the students.
In these circumstances, students may feel obliged to participate out of fear of losing grade points.
Some students may feel concerned about their grades and would agree to the experiment because the teacher did not give them an option to participate or not.
So, what is the proper method to conduct research with students?
Obtaining informed consent is an ethical practice that ensures that researchers do not unduly influence students.
Informed consent, as a process, has 3 elements.
Disclosing all the information related to the research project to the students in order to make an informed decision.
Facilitating the understanding of what has been disclosed.
And making the decision about participation in the research voluntary so that the students can freely take part in the research or refuse to be part of it.
Beneficence refers to the efforts to secure the subject's well-being.
The term beneficence is commonly used as a synonym for acts of kindness or charity that go beyond strict obligation.
However, in ethical terms, it is understood in a stronger sense, that of an obligation.
Although treating subjects as people is a good start, there are other ethical practices needed to comply with this ethical consideration.
Two rules need to be observed as expressions of beneficent behavior in research.
The researchers must assure that no harm is being done to the human subjects involved in research.
And they must focus their efforts on maximizing the benefits that the participants receive in the project.
In most cases, educational research does not provide direct benefit to subjects, and the associated risks tend to be minimal.
There are, however, situations that may pose a risk to students.
The most common risks of harm in educational research involve legal, social, and psychological damage to the participants.
Imagine that new technology such as virtual reality or augmented reality is being incorporated in a classroom for a research purpose.
The assumption is that such techniques will greatly impact the learning outcomes of the students.
The researcher collects the informed consent from the students in one class, and those who have volunteered from that class will join the research project.
Although the ethical guideline has been followed by the researcher, the beneficence, in this case, was not considered.
The reason is that only the students in the one class of the professor are going to benefit from the new technologies.
The students in the professor's other classes who are taking the same subject will not.
Therefore, it is against the principle of beneficence, because the experience is limited to the students of only one classroom to the exclusion of other students in the population.
The third pillar of ethical behavior is justice.
This term relates to beneficence because the benefits of research would pass to the participants only.
However, when deciding who will receive the benefits of research, the researcher must strive to be fair in the distribution of benefits and give the opportunity to other students to participate in the project.
Take the previous scenario as an example. What is the method to practice ethical behavior and incorporate beneficence and justice in this project?
To avoid injustice, the researcher should select subjects equitably.
This means that the researchers should use randomization to ensure that most students are given the opportunity to participate in the experiments.
These students can be randomly selected from the total population, and the exact number selected can be calculated following sampling techniques.
In this video, the fundamentals of ethical practices in human subject research were explored.
The decision to conduct a study with human subjects carries both ethical and regulatory responsibilities to protect the welfare and interests of those subjects, and to obtain adequate training for protecting the interests and welfare of the research subjects.
Researchers should always strive to observe the three principles of ethical behavior.
A crucial obligation of researchers is to understand which research situations involve physical or psychological risks, including interventions or interactions with individuals, and when permissions need to be sought to obtain, analyze, or report private, personal information that will be used and reported during the research.
Keep in mind that most reputable journals publishing research articles require mandatory evidence that ethical practices were followed when the experiments involved human subjects. Stay tuned for our future productions regarding more topics related to research.